Hi, guys. How are you all? Welcome back to another episode of First Reaction, Starfleet Academy Edition, Season 1, Episode 9, 300th Night. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was talking to Precious. Precious is here. Welcome back, guys. I'm your captain. This is really the one that I want. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. Okay, we don't go on. No, later. Yep, later. 6126 6566. Okay. I'm getting there. Relax. So, perfect. Let's see what you guys are saying. So, I got to say, overall, didn't enjoy this episode. There's a lot of things about it that really irritate me. We'll get into that, I'm sure, with your discussion pieces, whatever you guys want to talk about. But yeah, there's a few things about this episode that I really did not enjoy for the most part. So, but anyway, let's see. Hamron says, I have a few thoughts on episode 9. Overall, it was good. Or it was okay. Good pacing on the back half of the episode. However, character development is forced, awkward dialogue, and problems with scalability. Yeah, I didn't like this episode. The turbolift scene with Terima and Caleb seemed forced in a carryover from last week's episode. It seemed the writers forgot the characters came to some sort of terms with their feelings. Yes, it's also weeks or months later. And yeah, the will they, won't they is totally gone. They're obviously not going to. So I don't care at this point. Just stop with the come fuck me eyes from Terima, let's be honest, and the little awkwardness and the cute little like stop with that shit, because just stop. I don't care at this point. Hamron says the plot with Caleb going after mommy was predictable and cliche. You say that, but people said he had mommy issues in episode 1, and it really hasn't been mentioned since, so I have no problem with that specifically. Writers following the same old plot line of characters pseudo rejecting friends because deep down he values them more than his mom. Yeah, the mom thing was disappointing. It wasn't a heartfelt reunion. It didn't get teary-eyed. It didn't give a shit. Not well developed, not well done, honestly. I kept waiting for some kind of reveal that she was a baddie. That never happened, so I didn't enjoy any of the context. Another thing I really hated is, and I'm surprised this is the Jonathan Frakes directed episode, because the whole episode felt like a Discovery episode. Right down to the grungy, like post-apocalyptic dystopian marketplace that just looks ugly and dirty, and the color schemes are gross, and it looks like every market or planet shady trading place that we've seen in Strange New Worlds, Discovery, Picard. It's just hideous color palette, very ugly episode. Yeah. Anyway, that's jumping ahead a little bit, but Hamron says, lastly, I thought the Omega Mind boxing in the Federation is typical Putzman being grandiose. The plot better fits a group or faction rather than a pissant villain like the incompetent Braca. Yeah, the bad guys, the Venali Rawls, I always got the impression they were pirates. Apparently, they're an empire now. They're annexing planets, and to be fair, or not to be fair, to be honest, it's incredibly stupid. He stole the Omega 47 and those mines, 2-3 months ago at most, and then to put mines all around the Federation in a 3D pattern, mind you, which they did include in the computer display, which I appreciated, the fact that it wasn't just 2-dimensional. It was 3D. They laid all those around Federation space in 2 or 3 months. That would take years, first of all, thousands of starships. And you can't tell me that the Federation or anybody else wouldn't have noticed strange ship patterns and movements going on to lay all those mines. It's incredibly stupid and contrived and forced, and I just hate it. And the whole thing gave me Discovery vibes. The end, the cliffhanger, the darkness of the episode, the way it was written, everything about it just gave me the ick. There were a few funny moments with them in the shuttle and stuff like that, like good character moments, especially for some like people their age. So I didn't mind that stuff, but and seeing Jet Reno was really good in this episode. The Doctor was all right. Aki was good, but yeah, overall it was just a piss poor episode in my opinion. Anyway, Robert Buckley. Not only that, but the scale of it is absurd and not really a good idea for our nice and all seen and all over good High King Krutzman on point. But other than that, I liked it. I did not. Well, I shouldn't say that. It was fine, but it reminded me so much of Discovery that isn't a good thing. Let's be honest. Yes. What the hell is this? Hold on one second. Yeah, we're going to go with that one. All right. Hamron says I like 10% of the episode. That's maybe about what I liked, maybe a little bit more than what I liked. If the plot was scaled down to Caleb found his mom and created a more contained plot within the episode, it would be better than the scope of characters and primary setting. Yeah. Everything hit like... Everyone hit like, sit back, and chat with the captain and have a great time. Exactly. This is just us hanging out, whether you agree or not. BJ throws in $2. Are we kidnapping Genesis? Cadet forbidden. Yes. That was a fun line. Hamron, Khan already took Genesis. Hamron, that's not how you spell Khan. Khan is Khan. It's right in the title of the movie, so I don't know why people still misspell Khan. Jankware sent or gifted 5 Trekyards memberships, so thank you, Jankware. That is much appreciated. So Daniel Vance, Bravo 1495, Kryptonite Gaming, Birth Defect 1186, and Will Walgrit. Welcome to the channel. You guys are members for a month, so thank you. Olivia's like Cap, and I'm like Olivia. Jeff Jacobs, first super chat, at least first that I see, he says. This screensaver is great, but then it does this, which is like just a negative, which is silly. But anyway, it's fine. Olivia said, wow, that seems like a design flaw. The whole conversation made me laugh. Yeah, that was good. Aki's reaction to them being on the ship and the whole, well, that's a design flaw. That was great. Go into my office, don't touch anything, or you will be murdered. Yeah. Jeff Jacobs, I liked it myself. I thought it was a good story and had fun with it. Robert Buckley said same. BJ says, Cap, I was surprised that Sam and you didn't know what bridge drama was. I thought it was a Star Trek meme, but I guess I was wrong. Yeah, no idea what you're talking about, even to this day, which is a day removed from when it was a thing. So you still don't know, so let me know. BJ, J.J. Abrams said bridge drama in an interview about old Trek talked too much when we wanted to go places and do exciting things. Since then, though, thought bridge drama was a trope, but a Google search failed me. Yeah, haven't heard of it before. Haven't heard that JJ said that. Haven't seen memes about that. I mean, it's kind of funny now that I know, but no, not a thing that I've heard. Eric Martin says, what's with the PA system announcements that don't screw in the storage rooms? What the fuck? Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to point out. The Stephen Colbert voice of the school announcements are getting old and tired and boring, and I don't like them. Make sure your uniforms are sterilized. Don't fuck in the closets. Your Talaxian fur fly has last seen. Who gives a shit about the fucking Talaxian fur fly? That joke has sailed. Like, I am done with those. They really irritated me in this episode, and I don't know if it's just because I woke up on the wrong side of the bed or if it's my time of the month. I don't know, but they really fucking irritated me in this episode, and I don't know why. Jeff Jacobs says, yeah, the Beta Z girl is not attractive to me in any ways. Can't even remember her name. Her name is Terima, and I think she's extremely cute and very attractive. More so in the show. Like, when you see the actress outside of the show, all right. But the way they portray her in the show and the makeup that they have, I think she's extremely cute. And subtle little facial twitches and stuff are very cute. So I think she's extremely cute, personally. Terima is her name. Robert Buckley, Terima, I think. Not spelled like that, but yes. BJ says, I'm okay on the episode. I mean, I measure New Trek against Halo TV show, so it equals that. World building is bad, but that's all New Trek, yeah. Hold on a second. I just got to close this door. Oh. All right. Eric Martin says, I think Caleb would be better off with Genesis, even though Genesis allowed is not. Listen, my backwards friend. Anyway, yeah, I think they're going to get together. I've said that since episode 1. Go back and watch. BJ says, who are the Venali Ral? Exactly. They said the Venali Ral Empire in this episode, the announcement, which is kind of stupid. So I don't know. They felt like pirates, but now they're like a thing. They're trying to see everything. They got to step up everything because they overplayed everything in Discovery. These new mines, these Omega 47 mines, are the Burn 2.0, right? The Venali Ral are the new Emerald Chain. Like, they're not just pirates. They're pirates in the first episode, but that's not exciting enough or dangerous enough. We need to make them exciting and dangerous. So they're an empire now. It's like, get fucked. Eric Martin says, I think Caleb would be better off with Genesis. Oh, I just read that one. Sorry. My bad. Apeirodon, Mum being with the bad guys would have been a killer for me as obvious plot device. It could still happen. There's still another episode. It's not going to. What really bothers me about her in particular is what happened to her. She got shot. So the doctor had already said, I'm putting her DNA or her transporter pattern into the thing so we can beam her up. Fine. Beam her to the bridge, and the doc has a thermal regenerator, and poor Raimi, he's got a bloody nose and a bloody mouth from being punched. Get a thermal regenerator on that. Meanwhile, you've got somebody bleeding to death on the fucking floor in front of you. You would think in 900 years, the doctor would have learned about triage and kind of thought, maybe the person that's bleeding to death with holes in her on the floor might be worth my attention more so than somebody that punched in the face. But oh no, I like Raimi because I know Raimi. He's one of our students. So I'm going to take care of him first. What the fuck is that? That just irritates me to no end. You know? Anyway. Robert Buckley. So Jeff is put $10 if we hit 50 in an hour. Okay. Hit the like button. There's 49 of you here, 22 likes. Hit the like button. Let's get those likes up to 50. Make Jeff pay. Let's do it. Hit the like button, everybody. And chime in. Let me know your thoughts. BJ, space is so small in New Trek. In Disco, I said that the Federation was the size of New Jersey. You can drive a shuttle van across it in a few hours. Yeah. They don't care about time and distance anymore. And there's a couple instances in Old Trek where that was the same thing. It was a plot to, needed the plot to advance, so they didn't care. But it's much more evident and prominent now. DKT4377 says this show is depressing. Generally not. I've rather enjoyed the series so far, but this episode really let me down, and I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know if I'm just on my time of the month. I don't know. And I don't hope that's not offensive to anybody. It's just kind of funny because something about it, the whole watch through just irked me. And like I said, it felt icky. It felt like I watched an episode of Discovery when it was over. Jeff Jacobs says, don't forget to smash that like button. Hashtag make Chef Pay is in effect. Jame37 says, the entire minefield thing is crazy. Crazy stupid. Yes. Janquare says, minefield. Galaxy Quest did it better. Yeah. The minefield is awesome. I was thinking back to Strange New World Season 2 final episode. Can't say as I remember what that was, so. Robert Buckley gifted 10 Trekyards memberships, though, so thank you, Robert Buckley. That is amazing. So welcome, Olivia Julius. I thought you were already a member, Olivia. Miss Older, Andrew Wind, Chris Peterson, Ethan Spazzini, Dr. Scotty, Elvis Stooges, Veratha Camaro. Ooh, Camaro, I like it. Dutch G.I. Joe, and Craith Warfield. Welcome to the channel, guys. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Robert, for gifting those memberships. Libby said, I liked it, Cap. I thought it was good and action-packed. I mean, the scene with the Athena getting tractored by the 3 other ships was cool. I love the saucer separation thing. Although, are we leaving the atrium behind? I'm like, no, not the atrium. Where are you going to film every scene ever for season 2? You need the atrium because they've overplayed that fucking atrium in every scene. So, no, please don't leave the atrium. And the Athena coming in, swooping in to save the day, very reminiscent of Picard season 3 with the Enterprise, like swooping in. Or one of the other things I thought during that scene, which people have mentioned to me through the course of the day, is the Battlestar Galactica. Let's break her back, and she comes in. Had that vibe to it, but it was very much Picard season 3 as well, with the Enterprise above. Like, not great. That's what I'm saying. Oh, the other thing, the shuttle got there through a transwarp corridor because it would have taken a lot longer for the shuttle to get there, which is great. So what's going to happen beginning next season is they're going to realize there's a transwarp corridor that we can get out without setting off these mines. So what we're going to do is head for the transwarp corridor. They're going to either have to fight their way there, or New Sprocket is going to be there waiting for them. Something like that, I think, is going to be the case. And I don't care. Again, it's not galaxy destroying threat, but it's a massive threat that I didn't need in this show. And again, it makes it feel very Discovery-esque, and it's kind of annoying me. Let's be honest. So hit the like button, guys. 48 of you here, 31 likes. Let's get those likes up to 50. Hit the like button. Even if you didn't like the episode, like me rambling about it, hit the like button. Cranko 1. So they can make the Omega molecule but struggle with the singularity drive. Yes. Robert Buckley, because he was grieving. Because who was grieving? What? Oh, the Paradon. Though, in my opinion, the characters in this episode really worked well in their interactions, with Tarima being the one exception, and why Jaden is the only one who doesn't follow Caleb or catch him riddles me. Because he is grieving. Who the fuck is Jaden grieving for? Did I miss something? I mean, Sam died last episode, but she's back. Spoilers. Who the fuck is Jaden? What? Who is what? Clarify that for me. Because it riddles me as well. Let's see. The Pyridon. How did the Doctor find the life forms in the airlock when the overpressurized was hiding them? That sounded like a plot hole. No, because the pressure must have equalized at that point by then, because the one showed up and then the other. So Jeff Jacobs, let's not forget how cool and BSG like it was when the Athena dropped in for the rescue. Yeah, but it was more Picard season 3 with the Enterprise D doing that. Robert Buckley, Cap, I'm bad at spelling, hence the I think. Okay. Hamren says, I measure Putzman Trek to the Orville. That's not a measuring stick. That's apples and rocks. BJ says, I tired of Stephen Colbert too in Trek and outside of Trek on CBS. I think he's funny in general, and I appreciated his announcements over the PA in most of the episodes. Just this one, I don't know, just pissed me off each time I heard it. Jeff Jacobs, I have to disagree. I have a degree in lit and can't spell it all. I have a degree in clit. BJ says, you'll never enjoy any of it then. I take what I like and forget the rest. It's better than Disco Season 1 and 2. Yeah. Hamren says, we can at least confirm that Caleb inherited his mom's She-Hulk genes. You grew up. I expect her to say, how'd you get so big? Because he's not only tall, but he's, you know. Robert Buckley, well, it's the curse of peoplehood, Jeff. Eric Martin says, the end of the episode Ship Rescue was a ripoff of Picard Season 3, in my opinion. Yes. Mark Lawrence, the only excuse I can think of was that he was needed at the bridge station to get them out of there. Only excuse. Who? Jay Den? He wasn't at the bridge station. They got sent to her office. I'm so confused with what's happening in the chat. Am I missing something? Am I completely stupid? I mean, it's probably the case. Royston says, wasn't there an episode of Voyager where the Doctor went crazy exactly because he chose to save Harry instead of someone he wasn't friends with? Didn't he learn his lesson then? Yes, that did happen in Voyager, but they had to erase his memory so he wouldn't go insane. He could also never remember the incident again. That's why it wasn't mentioned last week as a part of the trauma episode. It really would have worked, especially after so much time having passed. It would have been fine if he had... But they say in the episode that if he remembers this, it's going to fry his programming, essentially. So there's no way that he can remember this incident. Cameron says, anything is better than the majority of Putzman's Trek. Jeff Jacobs says, yeah, I thought the doc was weird and useless in that scene. In Voyager, he would have gotten to work on her right away and yelled at them for not doing stuff right. Exactly. Ozzy says, Discovery to the rescue. Yeah, absolutely. I would be fine if Discovery spore jumped in next episode. I'd be fine with that. Me and Sam talk about that in our video that's coming out on Saturday. We filmed that earlier today. Worf Razenko says, making space so tiny was a joke. Absolutely. Jankware throws in $10, so thank you so much for the super chat. Speaking of over 36 likes, I want to get to 50 likes. Hit that like button if you're just joining us. There's only 44 of you, but hit the like button if you're just joining us. But anyway, Jankware throws in $10. At least they kept Sam's progress from last episode going and didn't reset her. Absolutely. I love that she said, I look back on my memories of the old me and I didn't like what I saw. And the fact that she said to Genesis, next year I applied for a single room instead of a dorm room, essentially, so I won't be, hanging out with you. I like that. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But yes, they kept her. She was good in this episode, honestly. Ozzy has joined the channel at the rank of Admiral. Welcome aboard, Admiral. Thank you so much for joining. James says, the entire thing of running off with his mom instead of getting her out of danger never made much sense. No, but she would be freaked out if she found out he was part of Starfleet. So it does make a little bit of sense in that regard. Even Genesis, like, it can't be that big of a deal. And he's like, it's kind of that big of a deal. So, let me change this to all messages. BJ says, well, Strange New Worlds is so far Academy is entertaining enough with likable characters for me to watch and enjoy, just like the Master Chief and Halo, also on Paramount Plus. Ozzy renewed his membership. Thank you. Jeff Jacobs, thank you so much. I really like her now. To Jankware. Okay. Mark Lawrence. So, in 100 days, they encircled the whole of the Federation space. That's a long ways, even for the smaller Federation. Totally agree, Mark. I said that earlier before you got here. It would have taken thousands of ships and years to do, not a couple of months, like 3 months, right? It would have taken so much longer. And Federation ships would have noticed the strange traffic patterns of these, these pirate ships essentially wandering around Federation space. It's insanely stupid. The atrium has been lost. No, no, of course it hasn't been. Where are they going to film all of season 2? They need the atrium because that's all they use because they spent so much fucking money on it. Hammerin says the biggest problem with Putzman's Trek is since Star Trek Discovery season 3, the writers don't world build. Academy would have been a great series for world building. Yeah, still can be. Jankware says not the atrium. That's our most expensive set. No. Debo says they'll pick up the atrium later. They absolutely will. Yes, I know. Lepiridon says the atrium. I get a serious Lily moment. Blow up the damn ship. Yeah, Sylvia said the same thing. Once they separate, it's like just blow it up. Self-destruct. Jeff Jacobs says, "Didn't you have something recently to make you an E4?" To Robert Buckley. What? BJ says, kind of dumb that have your academy be a fancy starship that isn't just a school ship. In real movies, school ships were often old cruisers doing training cruises. So an old galaxy in the 26th century, lots of cadets could fit in the Enterprise D. That is true. You are correct. Robert Buckley throws in $5 because Caleb did not accept being his family. Oh, is that why Jay Den is... I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Rami did say, what about Jaden? Did you tell him? He invited you to your ship. It's just a stupid ritual. Not to him, it's not. Motherfucker. Jane Quare says the issue with the Colbert announcements is that they are very forced comedic relief that got popular with Marvel movies. Yeah. Devo says, I like the episode. I see the Venali Raw as wannabe empire. Remember Osira tried to pass off the Emerald Chain as legit government, even saying they had a Congress? Yes, I do. Jeff Jacobs say, awesome. So petty officer, sergeant? Ozzy says, Mom turned his friends in. She didn't, though. Mark Lawrence, the one with the bloody nose instead of healing the mother first. I said that already, Mark. You're late to the show. Yeah, I said the doctor doesn't understand. In 900 years, he didn't learn how to do triage. Somebody bleeding to death on your floor. But oh no, our cadet student that we know has a bloody nose and some, busted up lips. And we're going to thermal regenerate that before we take care of the woman bleeding to death. Royston says, no, they gave him the memory back and Janeway stayed with him in the holodeck. They wiped it, but it didn't work, so they gave him the memory back. Oh, did they? Okay. Well, shit. That should have been mentioned last week for sure. Dredd says, currently enrolling on a degree in Clits. Yes. I am the Clit Commander. 20 points to whoever knows what movie that's from. But, welcome to Trekyards After Dark, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter. So, anyway, BJ says, first time I saw a starship drop in from orbit in atmosphere close to the ground was in Battlestar Galactica. The USS Shenzhou did so in first episode of Disco, and that was cool too. It was cool to see the Shenzhou do that. It didn't drop in like the Battlestar did, for sure. But yeah. Uh, BJ, perhaps now a bit overdone, a new trope. It's becoming that way, absolutely. Eric Martin throws in $10. Thank you so much, Eric. Bring back Rom as a hologram to deal with the Omega minefield. Ozzy, promote me and get me off the New Orleans. Yes, self-replicating minds would have been a nice addition to this. To say that they launched a few. I mean, we might get that explanation in the next episode. I don't know. I somewhat doubt it, but you could say that that's how the minds became so prolific because that would make more sense. But still, Federation space as a whole is much too large to. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Let's be honest. Uh, Jeff Jacobs says, "That is really cool, man. What did you do to celebrate?" To Robert Buckley. Watch Trekyards and stayed in my room. Hopefully, you didn't have your special sock. Not while watching Trekyards. Royston Bailey, 2 pounds. Doctor's memory was restored in that episode. Well, I'll have to go back and rewatch it. I'll try it because they couldn't. Yeah, there were too many issues if they didn't restore the memory engrams. He wouldn't have survived. His program wouldn't have survived, so they had to do it. Okay. I'll have to go back and rewatch that. Eric Martin says the Adamo maneuver in BSG was seriously cool and epic. Yes. Robert Buckley, notice she calls him Dad, and he now is acting more like our doc. Yes. I don't get he's acting more like our doc, but yes. Hamron says, why hasn't the Jem'Hadar Klingon not been in the last... that's a good question. She was one of the best new characters, so I don't know why she's not there, because I would certainly like to see her, because she's great. So, yeah. BJ says, new Trek writers don't seem to know how much real science Talos 4 was 2 light years from Starbase number whatever, but completely unknown. Nearest star to Earth is 4 light years away. Science. They made same error with saying the Klingons are at 1 AU from Earth, when 1 AU is the distance from Earth to the Sun, so they're already there. Disco. Yeah, and then don't forget in JJ Trek, you can warp from Earth to Kronos in like less than a day and back. Not 2 weeks to get there, and that's just to the edge of their space, not to their home world. Like, come on. Ozzy says, don't forget the old Enterprise D did the same thing on Picard season 3 last episode. Yeah, I already said that, Ozzy. Eric Martin, that Connie behind you is so elegant and cool, in my opinion. Aw, thank you. That is my 350 that I built, round 2. I'd love to turn the lights on for you, but can't right now. Plus, the motors are kind of loud. But that's a whole other situation. Should just replace that one with the Tomy one so I can have the lights on when it's up here. Put that one downstairs. That might be the way to go. I'm going to have to shuffle the Enterprises soon anyway because it's March. You know what that means? The Tomy refit is shipping soon. Robert Buckley, no cap. I was too busy super chatting for Sam to drink. Oh, nice. Jeff Jacobs says only 10 more likes to make mer pay. Yes, well, 9 more now. We have 41 likes. Hit that like button, guys, if you're just joining us. We have 48 people here, which I guarantee you not all of you hit like or have been here the entire time. So hit the like button. Let's get those likes up to 50. It's only 9 more, and we make Jeff pay. We can do it. Hamron says, it's Putzman's policy to not bring in sci-fi writers or writers who have encyclopedic knowledge of Star Trek. Yep. Robert Buckley says, who is Mur? Caleb. His last name is Mur. M-I-R. Jankware. Why do big studios seem to be allergic to hiring educated fans of the material? When that does happen, it almost always works out well. Yeah, I mean, they're not allergic to it. It's a mandate now for some of these creators. Like JJ didn't want anybody that worked on Star Trek previous to be part of the team. Thank God John Eves got in there. Kurtzman has said for Discovery and other shows, don't want anybody that has written for Star Trek or knows anything about Star Trek or is a fan of Star Trek to be a writer. We want something fresh and new. The only examples or the only exceptions to that rule are the Hagemans that created Prodigy, Aaron Waltke that wrote for Prodigy and wrote 3 of the best episodes of Prodigy. True Star Trek fans. Mike McMahon, Tawny Newsome from Lower Decks, huge Star Trek fans, and it shows in their work. Little involvement from Kurtzman. And then Terry Matalas, season 3 of Picard. Again, a huge Star Trek fan, a huge TNG fan. Guess what? It comes through in the writing, comes through in the directing, comes through in the storytelling. The fans liked it. They liked season 3, they liked Lower Decks, and they liked Prodigy. You know why? Because it's written by Star Trek fans for Star Trek fans. So yeah, I don't understand why they don't fucking hire people that understand anything about Star Trek either. It's a dumb fucking decision, and they need to smarten the fuck up. Jeff Jacobs says, LOL, I'm sure he will roast me for that typo. Oh, make Merpay. I thought it was just kind of funny. I'm not going to roast you for it. So you don't mean Caleb Mur. Gotcha. Ozzy says, this was a good episode. It's all right. Mr. Olive Stone says, all this new Trek makes me go back to TOS and reset my Trek palette. Yeah, good. That's good. It's serving its purpose then. It's making you watch the old Treks again, which is great. BJ says, it kind of shows I'm not an old scientist, but I know how to use Google Wikipedia to double check my facts. If I write something, I usually double check, guessing that makes me a slow writer. One of the things that irks me specifically about this new Discovery and this show, every time you see one of Morn's race, which I don't remember the name of his race, but Morn, every time you see one of his race, there was one in this episode, they're always fucking bald. Did you watch Deep Space Nine? Do you know that Morn was bald because he was storing latinum in his stomachs? Side effect of that was making him bald. So not everyone of his species is storing latinum in their stomach and therefore bald. So smarten the fuck up. Anyway. Eric Martin says, how are you guys not over 70K subscribers? It's like a YouTube conspiracy or something. I don't get it. I totally hear you, man. We've been stuck where we are for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Don't know. The algorithm's never been really kind to us, and it's driving me nuts because I'd like to get it to 1,000 or 100,000 subscribers. I want to get my silver play button, then I can quit YouTube and retire and go live on a beach somewhere and melt my silver play tube, my silver YouTube play button down, get all the silver out of it, like I said, retire, buy a mansion, buy an island. But unfortunately, we'll never get there. And I know they're not made of silver. I'm just kidding, just for the record. I just want a fucking YouTube play button. And don't worry, if we get to 100,000 and I get a silver YouTube play button, I'm not going to stop making YouTube. I don't want people to, nobody would notice that I left, but regardless, I'm not going to quit because I hit 100,000. Because we got to go for that million, the gold. And then I forget what level you get the diamond play button. PewDiePie got that. I think it was 50 million, something like that. Yeah. And it's not going to happen ever, so. Robert Buckley says they did that for the new Halos, too. Robert Buckley says 4 more likes on my screen. Yes, we're at 48. We only need 2 more likes. 49 of you here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. 2 more likes, and Jeff will pay. He will. Jeff Jacobs says, thank God for John Hughes just in general. Absolutely. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right. Scott Bakula's my dad says Tuvix episode was on tonight. Made me wonder what you would do in the same situation. Let him live? Fuck no. Fuck Tuvix. I want my 2 officers back, Tuvok and Neelix. If anything, I would definitely separate him. Get my 2 officers back. But before I did that, I get a DNA sample, put that on ice. If we find a way to clone him or reconstitute him in some way in the future, maybe just drop his DNA sample in water and watch it grow 8 times its size over the next like week. I don't know. I would do something like that, a way to maintain Tuvix while also getting my fucking officers back. Janeway did nothing wrong. Like, let's be honest. Hamron says, as I said the other day, it's a bad decision not to hire Trek writers when you have a Trek fan writing a non-Trek show. Orville. McFarlane nails the classic formula and makes it work. Yes, and he was vying for the position of Star Trek showrunner, so he should have fucking got it. 56 likes. We're blew past 50, so thank you so much. 50 of you here, which is amazing. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Do all the things you need to do. 56 likes. Jeff, you have to pay now. 'Tis the way it is. Hello, Jill. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Praise be to you or something. I don't know. Welcome aboard. Riker, director of this episode. Yeah, and surprised me. I didn't know that first watch. Second watch, I'm like, Jonathan Frakes? Didn't feel like a Jonathan Frakes episode. Not a good episode. Eric Martin says, go live on a beach cap with Green Orion slave girls to look after your every need. Indeed, indeed. That rhymed. Robert Buckley, we would miss you, Cap. And you have missed me with every bullet so far. BJ says, your writer's room should include both old fans and new people. Wrath of Khan, Harv Bennett, and Andor Tony Gilroy had non-fan directors, but they worked well with the old hands who knew material. Yeah, exactly. Jeff Jacobs, nobody would notice. Are you crazy? I know for sure of a great many that would miss you a lot. Name 3. Devo says, I'll be going now. Good night, everyone. Good night, Devo. Thank you for joining us. Have yourself a great night. Robert Buckley, don't know Ozzy, but he is MIA as of 2100 this afternoon. Where is Donnie? Where is Donnie? Ozzy says, okay. Jill says, hello. Question mark, LOL. Why are you question marking, Jill? Ozzy, Tuvix is combing the desert in Spaceballs Part 2. Yes, he better be in Spaceballs Part 2. 'Tis only logical. Robert Buckley throws in $10 and says, we hit it in under an hour, so here's an extra 5. Thank you so much, Robert. That is amazing. Still haven't seen Jeff pay because he's asleep at the wheel, I guess. But anyway, Jeff Jacobs, yay, Jill is here. Sorry, I got to go super chat. Yes, please go super chat, which you haven't done yet. Jill says, sounds like you guys are already past the episode discussion portion. No, yes, because we're 40 minutes in. We generally cover most of that at the beginning. But if you want to bring up anything, Jill, did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? I wasn't a big fan of it. A lot of things really bugged me about it, but it wasn't absolute garbage. Although that being said, it did remind me, it felt very much like I watched an episode of Discovery, and I don't like that feeling. So BJ says, Orville was good. Some of the humor I didn't care for, but it got better as it got more serious. Always did enjoy it. A la Dora Pickle Jar, yeah. The humor was fine. I enjoy Seth MacFarlane's humor. Even in the serious episodes, there was a good mixture of comedy with the seriousness. Now, that being said, early on, the first episode specifically was a little bit humor heavy, but didn't bother me. I still enjoyed that. It did get toned down quite a bit and quite noticeably so, but I think that took away a little bit from the show's vibe, let's say. Robert Buckley says, just a little, Jill, but you can rewatch this later. She can, but she probably won't. Most people don't rewatch lives, let's be honest. So, Jankware throws in $20 though, so thank you so much. It's not a silver play button, but it's something. Aw, maybe I can go buy myself a fake silver play button. Everybody go subscribe to the channel with your alt accounts. Would be awesome. Jillsville, the question mark was because you gave me a blessing of some sort. Thanks, I think. Hello. Oh, I was just waving my hand around and I'm like, oh, it looked like I did the bless you thing. So that's why I did that. Welcome, Jill. My apologies. Hamron says McFarlane learned early on and toned down the humor and did well balancing things out as things progressed. Yes, he listened to the fans. So did the people of Discovery. Let's be fair. We got Strange New Worlds as a result. And the shows since then have learned and have built upon that and have not sucked as bad as Discovery did. So they also learned. Anyway. Eric Martin says the glitter barf gag is really past its prime. I enjoyed it. It's all over my trousers. I can tell he's British. No one says trousers. I say pants. And Sam's like, oh, that's underwear. No, they're fucking pants. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny, actually. Royston S. Bailey, season 2 was a sweet spot for Orville, yeah. Robert Buckley, and the banana thing, too. Yeah, I was going to mention the banana thing. That was a big thing that played into the in episode 1 specifically. Oh, we need not fear the banana. BJ says, I liked Reno in this episode, too. Some of the dialogue was fun. Cadets in the shuttle, are we kidnapping Genesis? Yeah, the cadets in the shuttle scene was fantastically funny. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Any of the jet scenes were great. I love her delivery. Her dry delivery was on point. Awesome. Yes. Jeff Jacobs throws in $5, which I was promised 10 by Robert Buckley. I thought he meant that you were going to be throwing in 10, Jeff, but apparently not. Anyway, $5. We made it to 50 and more. Hashtag made Jeff pay. Let's go again at 70. I would miss you. The Admiral would miss you, and all of the Trekyards universe too. Well, the Admiral wouldn't miss me. She'd be with me on the beach. So she wouldn't miss me. You might miss the Admiral, but yeah. Derek Prindle. Any hope for new Trek getting back to being real Star Trek? Maybe at some point. I mean, I know what you mean by real Star Trek, and I sympathize, but yeah, hopefully. Speaking of, on my personal channel tomorrow, I am doing remember the Eagle Moss reviews I used to do? I got a lot of Eagle Moss ships, right over here, you know what I'm saying? I did, there's 93 Eagle Moss reviews in my playlist. Go to my personal channel, subscribe if you haven't already, check it out. Tomorrow I'm reviewing the USS Intrepid from Picard Season 3, which is the Duderstadt class, designed by Bill Krause. I'm not sponsored by Fan like I was with Eagle Moss, so they don't send me random ships, but I will be picking a few up. The Intrepid is the first one. I've also ordered the Protostar, so there'll be a review coming on that as well. And I've added them to the playlist for the Eagle Moss ships. So if you missed any of the Eagle Moss reviews, you can go back and watch them. Some of them are kind of cringe because they go back quite a long time. But you know, if that's something you're interested in, check it out on my personal channel tomorrow. BJ says, never thought of subscribing with my 2 other accounts. Just give you the 3 likes. I'll go do that now. Yes, please. Gillsville salutes. At ease, soldier. Motaz, show is terrible. Let's be real, folks. How does our beloved bad guy encircle the entirety of the Federation in his Omega bombs so easily without resistance? Some poor writing here. 100% agree with you. Yes, I 100% agree with you. It's a stupid concept to encircle the entirety of the Federation in 3D with mines over the course of 3 months. 3 months. It's been 3 months since they stole the Omega 47. So that would be thousands of ships that you would need to orchestrate that, and it's just technically impossible to orchestrate that. It's just, that's some shitty writing right there. So yeah, 100% agree with you. It's absolute dog shit of a premise. It's the Burn 2.0, and they've made the Venali Rawl from what seemed like random pirates to now the Venali Rawl Empire. So, on par with the Emerald Chain. Remember the Emerald Chain from Discovery? Bullshit. Bullshit. So, yeah, not an awesome at all premise for the cliffhanger of their... It's just fucking stupid, let's be honest. Mega Zombie Penguin, so Starfleet Academy doesn't suck. Sure. Omega 47, I thought they're Omega 13. No, Omega 13 is Galaxy Quest. Robert Buckley, okay, so Cap, what about a blows? You want to what? You want to give me a blow job? What, Robert? What are you saying? What? Mega Zombie Penguin, bring back Enterprise. Should not have been canceled. Should not have been canceled. Agreed. Hamrin says the creatives wrote Braca as a pissant villain on boner pills. Yeah. Jill says good night all. Good night, Jill. Sorry that you missed the main bulk of the discussion. Join in tomorrow for our live. James 37 says, why are they even working with Omega if it is as dangerous as it is? If it is as dangerous as is, no one should have it on hand. Agreed. Well, synthetic version. It's Omega 47. Robert Buckley throws in $5 to top Jeff. Thank you so much, Robert Buckley. That's amazing, sir. Robert Buckley says, can you make this alive, please, Cap? Can I make what alive? You're offering a blows to me, and then you want to make that alive? Well, it couldn't be on YouTube. Mega Zombie Penguin, fuck that. Top me off. Huh? Jeff Jacobs, thanks, man. I am a little short to go 10. Oh, man. BJ says, on pants, I follow whatever that is, British naval YouTuber. He says, given that underpants are a thing that go under pants, the North Americans must actually be right. Pants are trousers, not undies. Dun, dun, dun. Sure. Robert Buckley, me too, Jeff. I'm headed to snowboard tomorrow. Well, don't break a leg. Mega Zombie Penguin, Eagle Moss is ridiculous, but only place to get good models. Eric Martin, I like the USS Intrepid design more than the Neo Connie. I love that secondary hull. Yes, the original Wasp class it was designed after. Mwah, chef's kiss, beautiful design. Yeah, I like the Intrepid class. Not the Intrepid class, the Dudestad class. It's a fantastic design. BJ says, are those self-replicating mines or self-transporting mines? Something like that would make sense. Throw one out. Because honestly, going back to the point of encircling the entire Federation, that it's incredibly stupid. And to do it in 3 months as well. The Federation would have noticed unusual ship activity around its borders and probably, investigated. So, yeah, it would make sense if they were self-replicating or something. Not mentioned, of course, but yeah. Jeff Jacobs, I meant to say I am short both literally and figuratively, to be honest, LOL. I was going to say, man, you're short, but that shouldn't have anything to do with finances. Rebecca says, no, Cap, I don't remember. Okay. Jam says, not possible to have a minefield that big. Absolutely correct. Gregory Brackett, correct me if I'm wrong, but per Star Trek Discovery, aren't Starfleet vessels equipped with cloaking devices now, even shuttles? I mean, some might be. If they are, they don't use them. Terrence Childs, hi, Captain Foley. Are you still witching this show? I'm not witching it. I'm not cursing it at all. Even though this episode was not great. Mega Zombie Penguin, love the episode of Borg on Enterprise. That was one of the worst ones, in my opinion. The Borg, no, that's a whole situation. Not an awesome episode of Enterprise. Sorry. Robert Buckley, blows is a long sleeve that goes over a shirt, but is not a jacket. Oh, blouse. BLOUSE, not blows and not that. Blouse, BLOUSE. BJ says someone should calculate it. If the mines are all 1 light year apart, how many mines would you need to encircle an estimated Federation-sized blob? Or New Jersey. Hammerin says the mines are powered by the writer's bullshit. This thing You think He-Man, but instead of Grayskull, it's by the power of bullshit. Caravaggio says, if only the Borg or Dominion had thought of mining the whole quadrant. Ozzy says, will his mother forgive the captain because her son joined Starfleet? Yes. I hated that last scene. Like, yes, I understand that Aki was the one that basically put her in prison, but that scared look when Aki walks in, it's like, seriously? Read the fucking room. Like, I get it. He didn't have enough time. You saw the Starfleet badge on the doctor. Then Aki walks in slow motion. And it's going to be easily rectified in the next episode, but I hated the way that ended. Eric Martin, how do you keep track of any train of thought in these lives? I get totally lost. That's what makes me a professional YouTuber. Sometimes I get lost too, but it's fine. Canis Sarkani, the mycelia drive makes it pointless. But then, does he know what they have, that they have the mycelia drive? He might not know, and it's only on one ship. There was talk in Discovery of we're refitting the entire fleet with mycelial drives. That was mentioned in one episode, and then never really again. They were working on a Pathfinder drive. They were working on, different types of drives. So, but yeah, I mean, I like I said, I would have no problem if Discovery spore jumped in next episode to help them out. I think that'd be kind of fun, actually, as much as I hate to say that. But like I said, watching this episode reminded me of an episode of Discovery. So, yeah. Mega Zombie Penguin loves Star Trek. We need to get back to something we all loved. Next Gen and Voyager were top. Robert Buckley, well, Cap, they are only all there in like 30 minutes. What are you talking about, Robert? BJ says no close-ups, but I did make the shuttle design. But I did like the shuttle design from a distance, but a bit muscular, which makes sense if you're warping around the galaxy in a shuttle. Yeah, I mean, the shuttle design's interesting. I like the back of it. I really like the way that looks. Never really get a good shot of the front, ever. So, but the interior is nice as well. Our Buckley says, because they only had two when they left Fed space, so unless they were gone more than 30 minutes. And they had two what? See, now I'm lost. See, Eric, I get lost. Plus, people are having different conversations within the chat, so and I read those, and it's like, it gets confusing. That's what I'm saying. Jeff Jacobs didn't even think about the fact that the enemy was setting all these mines around their system. Yeah, right. Mega Zombie Penguin, no, the things that could have happened from the episode of Enterprise and the Borg. Things that could have happened. Well, it was just too much as it was for the Borg to even... Didn't like the episode very much, is what I'm saying. I don't know what you mean by the things that could have happened, but... Jeff Jacobs says, cloaked mines? Moi? I mean, those would be cool, sure. Terrence Child says, new Starfleet stuff, is it great? Don't know what you mean by that specifically, so I can't answer that. Robert Buckley, so they are scanning for new Fed ships using an old one pre-burn. I think they have a few. I'm getting very confused, and I need to adjust the way I'm sitting because it's very uncomfortable. That's better, at least for now. Jankware says, this chat has already come up with several explanations for the minefield that would have made more sense, but there is no chance it actually makes sense in the show. Yes, I agree. I don't, and we've done this many times on Trekyards where we come up with not excuses, but like ways or reasons that things could make sense, especially adhering to canon. They never fucking do them. we as fans, you guys included in the community, come up with better ideas than they ever could. And they don't listen to us. So, yeah. Yeah. Ozzy says they use cloaking mines in Deep Space Nine. They did. Cloaked and self-replicating. So if one or two got destroyed, they just reestablished themselves. BJ says New Spraka is also buying up all the real estate around the only wormholes that allow access to the Federation. We'll build a chain of space rest stops like Who Framed Roger Rabbit with Toontown. Yeah, he already has mentioned selling coffee at these places. So yeah, absolutely. He's pulling a Lex Luthor, buying up all the properties, near the ocean. It's fine. Mega Zombie Penguin. That, and we had at least 18 episodes or 15 episodes per season. Well, yeah, I mean, old Trek has up to 26 episodes per season. Much better. You can make mistakes. You can have episodes that waste time or have story points that don't hit necessarily, but are character building ones. So with 10 episodes, you really got to be careful about that kind of stuff, and they're really not. So Robert Buckley, so Cap likes the front view. Front view of what? I like the front view of a lot of things. I also like the back view of a lot of things. Yeah. Clarify, Robert. Jeff Jacobs says only 7 more likes to make me or Murr pay again. Yeah, 6 more likes now. We're at 64 likes. Let's get up to 70. We have 42 people here. If you're just joining us and haven't hit like yet, please hit the like button. I'd like to get 6 more. Get up to 70 would be amazing. So hit that like button. Sean O'Sullivan says, Morning Cap, another forgettable nothing burger. Yes, not a great episode. Mega Zombie Penguin would love to see a series about Romulans versus Earth, especially if from the Enterprise timeline. The Earth Romulan War, yeah. No matter what they do with an Earth Romulan War, if they ever do one, it'll not be what it should be in my mind. Something called the Starfleet Museum online that has the old Romulan ships from the Romulan Earth War. And remember, there were no visual communications because they didn't know what a Romulan ship looked like or what a Romulan looked like. They know what the ships look like. But so no matter what, they're going to fuck it up and have... It's a whole other discussion that I don't want to get into. Jankwer says, goodbye, everybody. Thanks for the fun conversations. Goodbye, Jankwer. Thank you for joining us. Live long and prosper. BJ says, the bad lady from the Vanelli Raw had a Romulan look and vibe. Oh, fuck yeah. Where'd you get Federation Tech? I would be like, go fuck yourself. How about that? And they kept punching fucking Raimi in the face. And I'm like, dude, you're a Kyonian. Your skin is like hard as like diamonds. Why don't you transform into your Kyonian state while they punch you and they break their fucking fists open? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Didn't happen. Bit of a missed opportunity in my opinion, but hey. Robert Buckley, we need to put out a petition for Prodigy Season 3 and 4. Anyone want to be the first signees? Yeah, I would absolutely do that. Now I need to sit on a pillow because my ass is getting sore. Anyone want to rub my ass? Massage my ass? It's sore. No? Okay. Eric Martin says they need to combine the harmonic Omega chamber from Voyager with the huge space vacuum from Spaceballs. I should write this stuff. Yeah, there you go. Mega made for the win. PJ says, sorry, out of YouTube accounts. No problem. We only need 4 more, so hit that like button, guys. Matt Bourbon says, you're still here. Yay. I am indeed, Matt. Welcome to the channel. Me and Matt had a good discussion today about the things we disliked about this episode, which you've heard mine already if you've been here. But yeah, Matt, feel free to ask me anything and have me rant, or put out your own thoughts and still have me rant. Mega Zombie Penguin says, I feel you, sir. Parent Childs, why didn't the Federation use the metaphasic cloak during the Dominion War? I don't know. Stop licking your paw. Stop licking your paw. Whoever is licking their paw out there, Donnie's here. He's probably licking his paw. Stop it. Jeff Jacobs says, thanks, man. You are amazing with all you do to support us. Says to BJ. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Donnie says, hello, Cap, and all. Hope everyone is well this evening. Good to see you, Donnie. Live long and prosper. Power Ranger Donnie says, Prodigy seasons 3 and 4. Yes, please. I mean, yeah. 9 out of 10 for this week's Starfleet Academy episode. How are you? I am well. He's talking to Oz, though. Yeah, definitely not a 9 out of 10. For me, this is going to score much lower. Not a good episode. Mega Zombie Penguin says, thanks. It's my first time here. I love it so far. Well, welcome. Good to see you. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell icon. Go subscribe to my personal channel as well. But yes, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you like these first reaction lives. We do a complete review and breakdown tomorrow on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can join us for that with me and Sam here, we break down the episode scene by scene and point out the good and the bad. So, but these are just cool, relaxing, chill, hangout first reactions. So welcome. Thank you. Amazing. Robert Buckley, Donnie. Public announcement as of 2203. This after. Okay, Donnie. Public announcement as of 2203. This after evening, Donnie has been recovered and is no longer MIA. I says, huh? I says, pardon? I says, what? My brother says, I was here earlier, but I had to go and talk to Rachel, so I missed about 30 minutes. Who's more important, Matt? Your wife or me? Priorities. I hope Rachel doesn't hear that. Robert Buckley, $5. Now someone needs to tell me how to make a petition. Just look up on Google how to make a petition, and it'll send you to a place you write up your petition, and then you can share the link and let people vote on it. Joe Brown says, again, I'm arriving late. That was an episode. Mixed feelings. Yeah, I didn't enjoy the episode. Many problems with this episode. Jeff Jacobs says, thanks. As always, I don't think you can do that. You can. You can make petitions, yes. Whether the people that you're making the petition about or for will see it or give a shit is another matter. But there's places online where you can make petitions and share them and have people sign them. Canis Arcani. Looking back at the ending scene, I think she was still high on anesthetic when she saw the Chancellor, hence the weird look she gave her. No. It was pure fear because she was the one that sentenced her to prison. She told Caleb when he was a kid, when she was being dragged away, to not trust them. Don't trust them, specifically Starfleet. And here she finds herself on a Starfleet ship being treated by a Starfleet doctor. And in walks the very person that imprisoned her. So the anesthetic from the future probably doesn't have that effect, first of all. So no, I don't think that was the case at all. The Matt Boardman, eyes shift nervously. What? Whether Rachel heard me or the fact that you should stay here and not talk to your wife. I know where you live, Matt. Just remember that. Terrence Child says, what are your thoughts on using the metaphysic cloaking device in time of war? As long as the Treaty of Algeron's not in effect, absolutely. Donnie says, I don't blame you for disliking this week's episode. Cap, episode 3 remains my weakest Starfleet Academy so far. Is that the laser tag one? Because, yeah. Jeff Jacobs, I thought Robert meant like here for us like you do. What? Oh, make a petition here. Oh, like we do. We don't make petitions, we make polls. And no, I can't do that with the layout I have up here. I have to be downstairs on my computer. So Eric Martin says, I'm looking forward to the Tomy refit video and TMP music in the background and maybe that cool V'ger sound. I won't have TMP music playing in the background. I will have some fanciness in the episode, though. I've been kind of thinking about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that review as well. And you'll get to see my finished 350 Polar Lights kit. Maybe. I don't know. Mega Zombie Penguin says, I just wish for Star Trek that doesn't suck. It seems like the owners are purposely trying to ruin it. Will still prevail no matter what. Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to ruin it. I think they have good intentions. They're just idiots. Kurtzman's a dumbass, let's be honest. There's been a lot of good Trek under him, though. Prodigy, fantastic. The best of the new Treks. Then you got Lower Decks. Awesome. Picard Season 3. Good. Fantastic. Strange New Worlds is really good, generally speaking. So there has been a lot of good stuff. Picard Seasons 1 and 2 were absolute dog shit. Discovery, not awesome. Let's put it that way. Very short treks, again, not awesome. There's like one good one out of those. But yeah, Prodigy was fucking stellar. Perfect rating. And Lower Decks was just great. It's definitely made for Star Trek fans. So Scott Bakula's my dad says, yeah, bring Enterprise. I enjoyed the Borg episode myself. Daniel's character was interesting. Yes. Ozzy says, hi, Matt Boardman, Skeleton Hand's brother. Sienna 03, Star Trek Academy is the worst Star Trek show created. Not true. Star Trek Very Short Treks was pretty bad. So was Discovery. This is head and shoulders above Discovery as far as quality. So Ozzy, Lower Decks. It's another Enterprise coming in. Mega Zombie Penguin, love Picard and New Worlds. You love Picard? You like seasons 1 and 2 of Picard? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, my friend. Season 3 was phenomenal. So seasons 1 and 2 were absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit, especially Picard season 2. Like, talk about taking a good premise that would have made a good 3 or 4 parter at most, stretching it to 10 episodes and just having it be fucking shit. It's like nothing good. I mean, that's not true. Season 2 had the first episode and the second episode were good. At least half of the second episode. And then most of the last episode were good in season 2 of Picard. Bruh. you need to tune into Trekyards more often. I know you're new here, but yeah, you need to tune into our review like we do tomorrow afternoon. We do lives every week. We do multiple lives every week. So tune in for those if you're around at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on weekdays. So tune in. We'll get you right. Eric Martin says Section 31 takes the prize for the worst Star Trek show. I keep forgetting about Section 31 because it's so fucking bad. Yeah, that was absolute 100% grade A. Scrape it off the fucking heel of your boot dog shit. Yes. Section 31 was absolutely fucking horrendous. Donnie says, hello, Mega Zombie Penguin. Same, yet I love a season 3 of Picard more than the first two, and the first two seasons of Strange New Worlds more than the third one. Jeff Jacobs says, well, Jeff Jacobs was in 269 and says, damn, almost 75. 75. Hashtag made Jeff pay 85? Bet we can. Well, we're at 74, so we only need another 9. I think that's how math works. Yeah, that's how math works. All right, cool. Mega Zombie Penguin says, didn't say all. Oh, okay, fair. Sorry, I kind of jumped down your throat there. My apologies. You'll learn that I tend to rant about things that I'm very passionate about. That wasn't really a rant, by the way. You can ask anyone here. My rants are generally epic. I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn on that, but yeah. Anyway, Eric Martin says, "Gotta say goodnight. Need my beauty sleep." Bruh, you definitely need a beauty sleep. I've seen you in person. Have a good night, Jeff. Catch you later. Thank you for joining us. Sienna says, when Star Trek writers stick with the original Trek ideology, it works. Oh, and they stick with it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's kind of the point. Use the canon, use the world building that has been established before. Don't fuck it up and completely ignore canon and make up your own shit. That doesn't work, generally speaking. So, yeah, don't do that shit. Don't do that. So, anyways, like I said, thank you if you're new here. Mega Zombie Penguin, yeah. Make sure you check the links down below. Check out my personal channel because I release videos every Friday on there and random other ones. So check that out. Subscribe to my personal channel. I think you'll really like it. And please join us any chance you get when you see us live. So click the notification bell icon to all. Not that YouTube will notify you. It never does. But, then you'll have a chance to maybe see some cool shit. At least I like to think it's cool shit. Maybe it's not. Mega Zombie Penguin says, Enterprise introduced Section 31 and all the timeline shit. Introduced Romulan timeline. Think they both could have gone far. Enterprise did not introduce Section 31. Hate to break it to you. It was Deep Space Nine that introduced Section 31 with Agent Sloan, and that was amazing because you were never quite sure what Section 31 was or how big it was, or even if it existed. It could have been a figment of Sloan's imagination because he was a little bit unstable. Then they backtracked it and said, oh yeah, Malcolm Reed in Enterprise, he was a member of Section 31. And then Section 31 just blew up and showed up everywhere. And it's like, hey, look at us. We got secret black badges. We don't show anybody, but look at my badge. Shh, it's secret. And it got retarded. It got ridiculous. It's a stupid concept. Well, it's not a stupid concept. It's a good concept. It was just overplayed, like ridiculously overplayed. And the Section 31 movie, yeah, absolute dog shit. Movie, quote unquote. Just stupid premise. Stupid premise. Absolutely awful. So it was a Deep Space Nine that introduced Section 31, not Enterprise. Scott Bakula is my dad, Sloan. Yeah, he was a great fucking character. I love Sloan. One of my favorite episodes of Deep Space Nine is when Sloan is dying and O'Brien and Bashir are basically stuck in his mind. That's a fantastic episode. And yeah, the thing is with Sloan, sure, he introduced Section 31 and wanted to recruit Bashir, but you never got a sense of what Section 31 was. Even when in that episode where he was dying, you get like a room cluttered with stuff, like files and stuff. And it's like, is this all it is? It's just this one guy that is like insane. Thinks that he's working for a greater cause and there's not. I don't know. Section 31 is a great premise that got immensely overplayed. Mega Zombie Penguin. It's how right it, but I like the idea of including it in the timeline. I do too, as long as it's played correctly and not overplayed, as I've said, but it's absolutely overplayed. As he says, Section 31 on Enterprise that changed the Klingons. Yes. Jeff Jacobs, I try to find the good in all Trek, but I could not find one thing about Section 31 movie to not to like, not one. Yeah, that Sloan dying episode was awesome and really scary. Yeah. No, there are elements to Section 31 movie that I enjoyed. Like I liked the big part cyborg guy that died. I really liked his character. I thought he was interesting and fun and funny. I didn't mind Rachel Garrett. She was all right. Um, that's probably where it ends. Donnie says, agree on how awful Section 31 movie was overall, despite a couple of aspects. Music included that I adore. For me, it's worse than Star Trek. I don't know what Star Trek SA is. If you're going for Starfleet Academy, it's SFA, even though Starfleet's technically one word. But SA is not a thing, so SFA is for Starfleet Academy. But anyway. Phantom of Many Topics throws in $5. The actress who played Caleb's mom is too young to be his mom. Yes. Tetlani Maslany. Tatiana Maslany, that's her name. She-Hulk. She also played in Orphan Black, which is an amazing series, sci-fi series from Canada. So, BJ says, I'd like to see a jump into the future where Section 31 has supplanted Starfleet. Starfleet being unknown, it's all super spies and super starships operating from secret star bases with great publicity. Well, now she is. He's not aged a bit, or she's not aged a bit. Yeah, yeah. She's a phenomenal actress, but it's not showing in this role, unfortunately. Like I said, in Orphan Black, she plays multiple characters in that, and it's really well done. So if you haven't heard of Orphan Black, I'd suggest checking it out. Anyway, I think we're going to call it there for tonight, guys. This has been a fun discussion, but join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where you can hear our thoughts, break this episode down scene by scene, and it's always a fun time. Sam rather likes this episode, and I don't, so it'll be an interesting discussion tomorrow. We're going to kind of be at odds. Mega Zombie Penguin says, to be fair, not seen anything new Trek since New World Season 2. Oh, wow. So you haven't seen Prodigy. Well, Prodigy was out before Season 2. But you probably haven't seen Prodigy because Prodigy is hard to find, first of all. But it's the best of the new Treks by far. Superbly written. Brings back characters like Janeway and Chakotay and some really awesome elements to that. But it's animated and quote-unquote a kid show, which it's not a kid show at all. But whatever. 30-minute long episodes, but there's 20 per season. So there's 2 seasons, 40 episodes, which is more than most of the new Treks. So, but Prodigy is great. Right behind that is Lower Decks, then and Picard Season 3, then Strange New Worlds. Actually, Prodigy number 1, Lower Decks number 2, Strange New Worlds number 3. Picard Season 3 gets a special mention and gets inserted somewhere in those top 3. So, Phantom of Many Topics says, you should start with thanks for the super chat. I read the super chat all the time, my friend. Sam liked it. What about the Halo show for Sam? The Halo show. He didn't like the Halo show. Mega Zombie Penguin says, I'll look into it. Please do. Matt Boardman says, it's won many awards, including Emmys, so, you know, Prodigy is a top-notch show. Absolutely. It's definitely worth a watch. BJ says, Prodigy was good fun. Wish they had not moved it off Paramount Plus. Exactly. And Phantom of Many Topics. I don't say thanks for the super chat before each super chat. I read the super chat and then thank you generally. But I get a lot of them during these, so welcome to the channel, first of all. And yes, absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. It's amazing. But we do read them all, even on the lives with me and Sam, where we don't read all the comments like I tend to do here. But we read every super chat. So anyway, hope you didn't feel underappreciated. I absolutely appreciate it 100%. It's amazing. By the way, we only need one more like to get to 75. But no, Jeff said 85, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Okay, never mind. 85 would make Jeff pay, but we're not there. So, but thank you to everybody. Jeff Jacobs says, thank you all for being here and supporting the channel, whether it's super chatting, PayPal, hitting like, and just being here. Yeah, and Phantom of Many Topics. The moderators, especially Jeff, tend to thank everybody for the super chats as they come in. So, yeah, anyway, always appreciative. So, anyway, I'm going to call it there. Like I said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I appreciate all of you. You guys are amazing, especially the super chatters. And welcome to all the new people. I appreciate you guys. Join me tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the review of this with Sam. We have edited content coming out on the weekend. Next week, we have multiple lives during the week. And then next Thursday will be the same bat time, same bat channel here to get the first reaction review at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, the full review the day after. So there's always a lot going on here in Trekyards. So if you're new here, thank you so much for joining. Hit the subscribe button, make sure you're notified. And also check out my personal channel. Link in the description below. And Robert Buckley said the petition is out. There you go. You made a petition. Good man. Sci-Fi Guy says, thanks, Kat. Thanks for being here. Good night, everyone. Yeah, 100%. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are amazing. And I will see you guys very soon. Until then, I'm Captain Foley, signing off. And Precious getting super excited because it's time to end the live and go downstairs. Bye, everybody.